Welcome back to another Dokkan Battle video. I am Lone, welcome to the club, and we'll be doing in a series called This Week in Dokkan, which is sort of an unofficial thing I do where I talk about what's gone on this week in Dokkan, if it's been an exciting one, if there's multiple talking points to get into, and we're going to start with DAIMA because Truth here says if Dokkan does DAIMA Super Saiyan 4 Goku for the EX part, then Grade 8 Power is going to be the best team in the game. Bro has his throne waiting for him, come home Angel. This is something I've talked about already. If you remember, it was either in the beginning of this celebration or slightly before it, but I even say here, Part 3 DAIMA is what I've been predicting since the celebration starts, so I'm ready for it. It would not surprise me at all. It would not surprise me at all if the celebration labeled as being as big as the 10th anniversary had a mini DAIMA Goku showing up in the Part 3. Do not forget that that is what's happened with the 10th anniversary, leaving the Carnival and LRs into a TUR Vegeta, who is Super Saiyan 3, who we thought we'd be getting for something like Saiyan Day or Golden Week. So do not be surprised at all. Obviously, we're all really worn out. Our stones are spent. I've got about 150 right now. If DAIMA Goku shows up, he might be a skip for me. I just don't have enough. I say it before, I like to have about 1,000 before I even consider summoning. Otherwise, summoning just feels so bad. But if you do pull, hopefully it goes well. Here we have Proton saying, if you still have stages to clear from the DAIMA Dragon Ball event, get them done. The event is going away July 31st. I think Truth actually made an entire video on this, but this is pretty common. I think if I'm remembering right, this is what happened with the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta who came out. And hey, look, Vegeta's trending over here. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta came out, and yeah, so maybe DAIMA, who knows? Let's get into our next talking point. The next thing I want to talk about is the success of the Special Battle event, the Global Campaign Special Battle 2025. This is phenomenal. This is great content here. Some people might think it's too hard. Some people maybe breeze through, you think it's too easy. Whatever the case may be, I think this is a great way to introduce a new difficulty to the game. And I would like to say that the rewards are chef's kiss. Adding really good equips, really strong equips for every single character in a celebration, catered to beating the stage, is ingenious. I hope they continue to do this. I say it all the time. Dokkan does not seem like a hard game to make, but you'd be surprised if you watched Akatsuki make it, because it seems obvious. Every single time there's a celebration, put out an event like this that's difficult around the character and give them equips. When you beat it, it feels like you're doing mission content. It feels like you're doing like a nice checklist. It's so good. And you don't have to make it like, oh, it's infinitely more difficult than like the last one, right? And that's a point I'm going to make as we talk about these stages, but they don't have to be infinitely more difficult than every single one before it. They just need to be about that level. And if you've already got the numbers, then there's no reason not to just do it. So starting with the first one, which was the hardest fight in the game, still might be Omega Shenron is a tough son of a bitch, I'll say that. So as far as who is the actual strongest fight in the game, still up in the air, still got to do more testing. I'm sure once Truth runs through each fight like a billion times, he'll come up with an answer. And because Truth plays the most of the game, it's easy to just be like, yeah, it's probably true, right? You know, I think sometimes when it's like asking for Truth's opinion, and some things he says, and it's just like, yeah, that seems fine. But this fight is great. We have Zamasu healing and locking so long as he's alive. He also does incremental damage, but he does not hit nearly as hard as this character once he takes damage. This is insanely smart. It adds this sort of race component where you need to dash against Zamasu as fast as possible so that you can actually knock him out, get your characters unlocked, and be able to finish off Goku Black through his barrage of huge damage as well as an AoE. Beautiful chef's kiss. And if you're worrying like, oh, Omega can't play in here because of if you attack him, he gets stronger, I breeze through this fight with Omega. Right, so it's not even like it's impossible. It's just it's a fight that really has impressed me. I think it's one of the best Dokkan has ever done. I don't think it's a problem that this fight kills new characters. Okay, it's a game. Don't you want to play a game? Do you want the game to just be movies on camera? Like, it seems fine that this fight kills characters. Like, duh. Going into stage 2, this fight is obviously much easier, but that powerful turn 3 or turn 4, what have you, that this Goku has, where he just hits for like 13 million, is an absolute bomb. The fact that we've got Vegeta stunning here, breaking up your rotations, meaning you need to value dodge or even a sort of ki blast nullification works. I think it's really good. It's a great version of the fight from before, where it's a 2 characters that you need to race against so that you can, you know, depower Goku and things like that. Great fight, great all-around fight. Yeah. Going into a Mega Shenron, who seems to be more of a Goku Black and Zamasu type fight. Again, a locking, but it's now attached to one character, so you cannot break this lock. AoE's attached to him, a big chunky super attached to him, and a huge HP pool. Is more like a standardized fight. I like it. I like it a lot. Returning to basics, so to say here. I would say that it's nice to just have a nice, solid, strong red zone fight that's more like the previous red zones. And then we have the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who is timed. You can 100% predict everything he's gonna do. People have already done it, and makes a nice showcase fight because you can put characters on the end, get them super, test how much they do. This character hits like a bomb. He's gaining a bunch of attack as time passes, right? It only takes 4 turns, I believe, for him to become a big problem with his supers, and by that point you're getting boxed. So I would say that this is just a successful event. It was a successful event. I think they did a really good job. I like to reward Dokkan when they do a good job and not just like hang on, oh, why didn't they do this or that? Why didn't they do this better? I think it was a successful event. Comparatively, we can look at what they released before. DB Saga, Red Zone, kind of trash. Seriously Serious Battles isn't hard, but it's a great addition. A lot of the Goku and Vegeta Red Zone stages aren't really anything, though the last 2 are really good. Obviously, you know, the Jiren and the Vegeta, and then the Jiren and then the Goku. So I think they did a really good job here, but their build up, I just can't really remember the last time where Dokkan succeeded in making 4 fights in a row like interesting and different, because the last time they had like a really hard red zone that sort of did this same thing where like all of them were pretty difficult, was the, can I find it in here really easily, Future Red Zone, where they weren't really different, but they were all difficult until you got to this guy where he was just like a monster, you know? 2023 characters were just not made for it. And yeah, I think that does it on that front. So good job, Dokkan. Let's get into the next thing. So there are 2 points, or I guess there are 3 characters I want to highlight here, because and don't take this the wrong way, when I say that some characters need to be better than others, I don't mean that like, well, they should default make that character bad and then they should make these good. What I mean is that if I could choose, I would definitely make this character like the best one, because we don't live in a perfect world where Dokkan knows what they're doing. So Sin Shenron, Omega Shenron, and the Legion of Shadow Dragons need to really be something special. They don't need to be top 1 in every category, and especially not the case with the free-to-play Legion of Shadow Dragons. But Omega Shenron here, the Super EZA, should be a character you can get with the free-to-play stones that we got. The free-to-play dragon, like special dragon stone thing in the shop. Same with Sin Shenron, I imagine. Like, I haven't checked the shop today, but I imagine this character's in there. What that means is that if you pulled Omega Shenron, these are big time help. These are big time help, right? And we're just in a position where, and he's on Omega, I just want to highlight that he is on full power. Whatever they decide to do with this character, we're really close. I keep saying that we're not that far off from Omega's team being completely fine. Because if you actually go to like the cards here, we're running this guy. If this Shenron is even half the character that Goku Black is, we might be in business. Because Goku Black can tank, you know, Fusion Zamasu and Goku Black Red Zone, you know, or Special Battle. Goku Black can stand by himself in these other events like Omega Shenron's Special Battle, or, you know, Goku and Vegeta, or Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, right? Like, he's good. He's good in those. If this guy is just up to that level, Omega Shenron's team gets infinitely better, right? Because Omega Shenron's issue isn't that his team is just so dire. And I really want to drive that point home, because I see people saying like, oh, his team like just absolutely sucks, it can't get better. The thing is that when you make teams in Dokkan, your weakest link so often ends up getting highlighted. So when you have Goku Black and Omega Shenron, who are top tier characters, it's way more obvious when Full Power Frieza dies, right? Because Full Power Frieza is always going to be the one dying. You know, who else is going to die? You know, the Boos are always going to be the ones dying. You go to GT Bosses, and Nova Shenron's going to be the character dying. Even Super Baby 2 is going to be the character dying, right? Even with his boost. If we could just plug up one or two more of those, if both are on the level of Goku Black Super Saiyan, Omega's team will be great. So much support, so much damage reduction, drenched in ki and crit. Like, if it's literally just make this character a bomb and make this character like a support bomb, and that team is on fire. If they only land these two, Omega's team is fine. If they could land this one as well, well, that's exciting too. But they actually kind of don't need to. And the reason I'm stressing this is because, again, it's a lot of EZAs here, and every single Saiyan one doesn't matter at all. I just shrugged my shoulders, like it kind of doesn't. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Super Saiyan, like, again, if you're excited for these characters, I'm not saying don't be excited for them. It's just that, like, the team is gonna make it. Do you think GT, like, super units need more? They don't. So if they can just land the Omega ones, I'm considering it a success. Again, if you've been playing for a long time and you really want to see Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta be, you know, as good as possible, I get it. But I want the DFE to have a team that is solid. And even if by the end where we end up running like Omega Shenron, Goku Black, Rose, Sin Shenron, Omega Shenron, and Fat Boo, good. We're good. It could literally be that, and we'd still be fine. It's just that if you need to run two characters who are a little shaky, that is when a team's holes really start to show. And I think that's sort of why people can get confused about how good and how bad teams are. It's two or more faulty units is when you start to feel it. Because you can't hide two units, you can hide one. You can hide one. If the worst character on Omega Shenron's team is just Nova Shenron dying sometimes, oh, peak. We did it. So they just need to come through with that, I think. If they come through with that, it'll be fine. Ultimately, I would love if they made all 10 of these EZAs incredible. Sure. But because we live in the real world, we know that's probably not going to happen. I just hope it's not the Shenrons that suffer. They should be the ones who are incredible. If it's Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta who are the best of the batch, I mean, it's going to put the game in a worse spot. I'm going to be that honest. The game is in a worse spot if Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Super Saiyan 4 Goku are the best EZAs in this bunch. That's just how I'm feeling. But like I said, I'm not really dooming on it. I'm not just like, oh, they're just going to make the Legion of Shadow Dragons bad because they're free to play. I like Nova Shenron. I think Nova Shenron's really strong. And I'll use that cursed phrasing for a free to play unit. But he's about as strong as he's supposed to be. Whereas we do need a little bit of a gut punch on that team. So Yeah, I think that's it for this week at Dokkan though. Overall, I guess I just want to say that I think they did a really good job with the premium units. I'm not really disappointed by either. Obviously, Gogeta just feels like he's the best character in the game. They put a lot of work into him. They clearly want to make this the peak of Dokkan for now. It's to the point where some of these animations literally look like they're in a movie. Like, this looks like it's a movie scene. Like, in some of these shots, like this is Dokkan. This looks like Dokkan. This looks like a movie. Genuinely, this looks incredible. This looks a little bit more like Dokkan. And then this lighting here. Yeah, oh my god, that's crazy. So, I get it. Shenron, I think, is a very fun character. I don't have any problem with him. I know that there's going to be a little bit of a backpedaling on him at some point, just because, again, it's his team's fault. But if the EZAs come through, I think he's going to be very fun for a very long time. I think he is definitely worthwhile summoning. I think he's going to make characters like Goma better, especially because I think Goma should probably be on Power Absorption or Inhuman Deeds. But even if he's not, Goma should lead one of the categories that he's on. Battle of Fate primarily, right? Full Power primarily, Worldwide Chaos primarily. Like, there's no doubt that he should fall into that. And if he does, easy. He's easily on this team. Like, he goes on that team easily. So, yeah. With all being said, though, that's been this week in Dokkan. Like if you liked the video, subscribe to the club. We all go make it, and peace.